Welcome to Sessions with Coach April, where real conversations meet real solutions. I'm one of your hosts, April Hogan, and I have the pleasure to be joined by
Hey y'all, it's Cass.
absolutely. So today we are talking about what it means to live soft in a hard world. But you guys know I always have to start by asking how she is, but y'all can probably tell by her face. So how are you doing today, Cass?
I'm gonna behave today. I'm great. It's a new year. This new year came in fast. Like it came in really fast. I am tired, but I'm doing good though.
That's good. That's good.
How are you
So
doing?
I'm doing good. I today has been one of those days, not necessarily bad, but more of like a reflective day. And then for all of those who know from a book that I wrote called, or that I was a co-author in, The Invisible Face, or the Face, oh my gosh, The Beautiful Face of the Invisible Illness. I am having invisible illness issues today. So but yeah, either way, pushing through. So
Right.
today we're going to talk about what it really looks like to live soft in this very hard world.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what my soft girl era in 2026 actually looks like beyond all of the beauty and aesthetics. So I know I'm ready for this conversation. Are you ready for this
Heck
conversation
yeah, I'm ready for it. Other
today?
people might not be.
Right. Exactly. No, I can see that. I can see that. So when people hear soft life or soft girl era, they often think it's about luxury, rest, or checking out. For you, what does living soft actually mean in real life, not the TikTok version?
For me, it means being unapologetic, right? It means like just like existing in all the essence of what makes me me, for better or for worse. It's not letting people get me out of my comfort zone. It's taking time for me. It's honoring who I am and what it is that I want, and me at the deepest part of my core. Because a lot of times we get so caught up in the perception of us and what people want us to be, what people think we are. And we operate in that, like you said, that TikTok thing, or, I'm saying, the social media, and we get caught up in what people see and what we want them to see. And for me, I just want to operate in the deepest essence of who I am outside of everything else. I don't want to get caught up in who people think I am, no, none of that. I just want to operate in who I really am. And we'll get into this more later in the show, but that in itself has been a revelation of who am I really, right? Because I think once you hit, like 35, 40, like that age range and above, you stop caring so much about what people perceive you as. So for me, being soft is like, who am I? Let me operate in that space and just be me authentically 100% of the time, even if nobody likes it. So
Okay.
what about you?
So I will say being in my soft girl era or in a soft space means showing up calm. No matter what the situation may be, no matter what I am approached with, showing up in a space that's calm, showing up in a space to where I realize and recognize that I can only be responsible for me and my actions, which means I can't let anyone else and their actions take me out of that calm space, right? Looking at things in a mindset of, hey, okay, that happened, but okay. Like, I know I tend to, and I actually just got off of a coaching call a little bit ago. And even when we were doing our whiffle, is what we call it, what would you like to express? So, even when we did our whiffle, I'm like, I'd get into a space where I'm expressing and I'm like, hey, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing this. And she's like, but you said soft space. Does that sound soft? It sounds like instead of you saying, this is what I'm not doing, not doing, not doing, instead of doing that, talk about what all that you're going to allow. I'm going to allow this and only this, or I'm going to, instead of always being like so aggressive in my space and in my head and in my feelings and you know what I'm saying, like it's, and as a driver, right, when you take the disc test and there's a couple other tests that I've taken, I'm a driver. I am a driver. I'm a dominant D. I have masculine energy in that space, but
Hmm.
learning to step into my feminine energy means, hey, like you got to look at things differently. Yes, you can still drive, but you can't be so aggressive in your drive. You need to drive. When I think of like my kids and how take care of my kids, how I took care of my kids, how I nurtured them, some things that some people could do, I'm But when my
Mhm.
kids do it or I've done it, I'm a little more calm because I have to nurture them, right? Like, so the way that I take care of them or care to them is differently. And not saying that I'm going to be like that with everybody because I don't have that type of time and energy. But if nothing else, I need to be like that with me, which means I
Yeah.
need to recognize when, hey, you're too hype on something. Like you went from 0 to 1,000 in 0.2 seconds, where you need to just really like take a minute. Don't let that phase you because whatever they're doing, you can't be affected by that, and you can only be affected by what you allow and what you do. So that's really my thought of being now in a soft space and in my soft girl era.
I love that for you. And you're absolutely right, because it's so easy sometimes, like you said, when you're a driver or we work in fields that I won't say are typically dominated by men, but have more authoritative roles where you kind of have to take charge and be a driver in that position. It's easy to always stay in that lane, right? So to get out of that and be like, I'm going to be soft, I'm going to approach this differently. I'm going to tell you right now, that's hard for me. That's one thing that I've always had people tell me, especially in workspaces, is that you can be kind of mean or you're not woman fuzzy and this and other. And I get it. A lot of times it's the tone of my voice. It's not how I mean it, but I also know when and who to be soft with, because there is a fine line between being soft with everybody and getting walked over and putting your foot down and going, okay, I can still be soft, but you're not going to treat me just any kind of way. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
learning that balance of
Mm-hmm.
not doing that with everybody, but it's a work in progress.
Absolutely, I agree. I
So
agree.
go
I feel
ahead.
like I feel like I'm learning that balance, but not necessarily on because I've already got really good at being able to express, hey, like even when somebody, which I mean, I know you've heard me on calls with people. Ariel's told me before, like, man, I don't know how you handle it that way with certain salespeople, where you can tell they're just really trying to push your buttons, but you
Hmm.
just like gracefully say, but cut them without like getting out of character. But I
Yeah.
am but I'm working on not necessarily what I say or how I say it, which I am working on that too, but really how I let things affect me. Do I allow myself to get in a space to where now this is bothering me or I'm getting stressed out or oh my gosh, I don't even know why people are like this, instead of just
Mhm.
realizing, you know what, you can't even control that. So allow it to roll off. Like stop allowing it to impact your attitude, your mood, how you treat people, any of that. So yeah.
Water off a duck's back. I agree. So, at this stage of your life, what are you no longer willing to hustle for, explain, or overextend yourself around, especially when it comes to work, relationships, or expectations?
A nigga, I'm joking.
You can say that again, just like that.
So no, honestly, I mean, I was more politely said in my soft space.
Right. A nigger.
Okay. I have gotten to a space where, listen, if it's meant for me, it is. If it's not, it's not. I almost feel like I've gotten too hard on my boundaries because I'm quick with the like, hey, you said what? Okay, you know what? That doesn't even fit in
Yeah.
my space right now. It ain't gonna work. I'm walking away. You know what I'm saying? So I do need to, I'm still trying to question my, hey, do you need to give a little grace sometimes, whatever. But I definitely know at this space in my life who I am, who I want to surround myself with. So I'm not just saying nigga, I'm gonna say people. Like I know who I want to surround myself with. I know what type of energy I want to be around. I know what feeds me. And I know what type of people I want to feed life into. So that piece of feeling like, hey, like being attached to something that doesn't feed the place that I'm in right now, and that I absolutely cannot feed back into them. That is something that like I'm not hustling to be in nobody's space, be in nobody's face, gather nobody's energy if it doesn't, align with mine. I'm not in a point that I'm overextending myself in circumstances that does not match my purpose and the journey that I'm on right now. And that's not just personal relationships, that is work as well too. If it's
Mm.
something that like I'm constantly so stressed out and constantly feeling underappreciated, that I'm going to work my way out of that situation because um if I'm not there, they're still gonna get it done, right? So listen, if I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. Don't call me. If you know, I said I'm on vacation, I'm not gonna answer my phone, my emails, whatever. Respect the fact that I'm taking this self care time. So definitely who I hold in my space, who I allow in my space, and who I feed into. That's what I'm no longer gonna explain or overextend. What about you?
Absolutely. A lot of mine is the same. I'm not over explaining myself, period. Like I've gotten to, because I've always been the one where it's like, I'm a Cancer, right? So I tend to hold on as long as I can until I can't hold on no more. That's not just in relationships with men, but it's in relationships with people in general. That's just who I am, because I'm a nurturer, I'm a lover. Like I want it to work, especially if I care about you. I don't let a lot of people in. So if I let you in, I want it to work. I want to keep you close to me. I want to love you, pour into you, all that good stuff. So I'll tend to hold on even after you've shown me I should let go. Because I feel like if I can just explain it to you and make you see why, you'll understand and you'll act right and we'll be fine. I'm not doing that. Even like, especially in relationships, whether it's a man, a woman, a friend, brother, sister, whoever, I'm not over explaining myself anymore. And this is something, again, that's hard for me because I want to make sure you understand, but now I don't. Because what I've come to realize is people already understand. As long as you keep dialogue open, that's a way for them to still have access to you and still pull from you and get attention and feed those dopamines they need to be like, oh yeah, I got access. I can still act. I can still do. And she still cares, even though I'm just repeating myself and beating a dead horse. And they're watching me beat the dead horse and they're not making any progress towards change or to make the situation better. So in a lot of my relationships, especially with men lately, I've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, you're interested, I'm interested. I express to you how, you know what I'm saying, my expectations or things that I want. If after a while that's not happening, I'm not gonna say anything anymore. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
walk away. And then when you go, well, why are you quiet? Because I'm not over explaining to you what I've already told you. I had somebody last night who was like, they kept messaging me and they were like, you know, well, do you even like me? If I'm not talking to you, like if I didn't like you, I wouldn't even be talking to you. And I expressed this to you already. So if you're not going to take the steps to move this along and progress, or at least let me know like what's going on, what are we doing? What don't waste my time anymore. When to talk about it, don't explain to myself to anybody anymore. It just is what it is. And if it's not moving the way I think it should be moving or I want it to move and we've had a conversation about it already, then I'm just walking away from it. No questions asked. I'm not explaining. I ain't talking about it. I ain't sending no paragraph messages. I'm just cutting it off.
I agree. I agree. Absolutely.
So a lot of people think softness and boundaries can't exist together. What's one boundary you finally enforced that truly changed everything for you?
Not redefining the meaning of insanity. So, what I mean by that is if we've tried this many times, or if I've done this many times and it's not working, I'm not going to redefine the definition of insanity, right? It's insane to keep trying the same thing and it's not working. That is with communication. If I communicate with you this way this many times and you're not getting it,
Mm-hmm.
uh, me continuing to try to communicate the same thing is me being insane, not you. It's me. If I'm working on a situation with somebody and it seems to like get to a point to where it seems like we're repetitively doing the same thing and it's not going anywhere, all right, it's time for me. My boundary is peace. I'm
Yeah.
protecting my peace. And it is not peaceful to be in a space to where I feel insane or even look.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in a space right now where that boundary is, hey, like not that I won't, not that I give up right away. I'm gonna note the few red flags. I'm gonna note the few areas, and I'm gonna express. And then if it just gets to a point where it's like, and I'm talking about, I'm hoping I give you more than one chance because some things is just a no go. But if I feel like I've expressed it and it's still the same thing, then I don't think there's a level of needing to continue to do the same things. We're clearly not on the same page.
Yeah.
So definitely in this, I feel like I've spent a lot of time in relationships, in friendships, in family space, in workspace where I'm trying to I'm trying to hold something together that I don't need to hold together. If it was meant to be together, I wouldn't be working so hard to hold it, right?
Right.
So now I'm in a space, if it's not working, guess what? It's just not working. I wish you the best, but it's not working. I definitely need to keep my space peaceful. I believe, like I hate it when people say this. I want a woman that brings me peace. It's not my job to bring you peace. I'm not going to bring you peace. I'm going to go ahead and say that. It is I do plan to add to it. If you don't
Yeah.
ever already come to a relationship with peace, I'm not for you, because you're not taking my peace to try to make peace for yourself, right?
Right.
You need to already come with it and then let me add to it. So yeah, that's definitely the space I'm in. Just like my peace. That's where it's at. What about you?
Absolutely. My boundary is I'm putting myself before everybody else.
Mhm.
I've always been the person to put everybody else above me and their feelings and their needs, and I'm not doing that anymore.
Mhm.
Um, it changed everything because it made me realize that I can't, I mean, which I knew it already, but I can't pour from an empty cup. I
Mhm.
can't pour from a place of always feeling like I'm getting shafted or I'm getting like just dumped on and just not poured into and not, you know what I'm saying, uplifted, but I'm always trying to do it for everybody else. I can't do it anymore
Mhm.
across the board. Friends,
Mhm.
family, everybody. It's like I can't put other people above me because they're not putting me above them.
Mhm.
So if you're not first, you're last. And I'm not fit to keep being last in everybody's life, including my own.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, how has softness shown up in your decision making, not emotionally, but strategically? And what did 2025 teach you about managing your energy that you're applying differently in 2026?
Um, Honestly, softness has shown up in being kinder to myself because even though I give other people grace and I'm very nurturing towards other people, I tend to be mean to myself.
Mm.
And now, even last night, for prime example, so you know, obviously, because you're my best friend, but I have bad like social anxiety. Like I hate to go into crowded places, and it stopped me from doing so much in my life because of that fear of being seen, that fear of being. And honestly, I can't even place where it stems from. This is what I need to talk to my therapist about. I don't know where it stems from, but I've always had this fear of just being seen. I know exactly where it stems from. Now that I say it out loud, I know exactly where it comes from, but I won't go into that. But I didn't like to be seen. So I don't like to go into crowded places. I'll go to a grocery store if it's too packed. I'll sit in the parking lot and wait for some cars to leave. Like I just don't like being in crowded places. Even if nobody's paying attention to me, I feel like all eyes are on me. And I hate that feeling of anxiety. And so last night I went to the gym, and at first I was excited because I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying, I've been consistent. I've been working out at home. You know, we did our 8 mile walk this past weekend. And so I'm like, I'm killing it. I'm ready to get back into the gym and like take it outside of my house and go back into the gym. As soon as I said it, I got like this heavy rock feeling in my chest. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should do it at home. And maybe I shouldn't go because it's going to be late and I should just, you know what I'm saying, just not go and just do it at home. And I was already coming up with excuses. And then I stopped and I was like, no, you're going to go to the gym. Nobody's watching you. And it doesn't matter if they are. You're going to go and you're going to do it because you owe it to yourself. So just like recalibrating myself and reminding myself, this is a safe space. You deserve this. Everything that you want, you have the power to control how you get it, when you get it, if it's going to come. And it only won't come is if you don't take action.
Right.
So I had to like talk myself out of that and remind myself like you're worthy and you deserve everything that you've been asking for, everything you're pursuing. You deserve it. Get out of your own way. And that looked like me telling my inner saboteur, you can ride shotgun, but you can't drive anymore. You
Mm.
don't get to call the shots. You sit there quietly, shut the hell up, and let me take care of this.
Right.
And that felt different. It made me feel weird. I had to come down from that high for a while afterwards, but it made me feel weird. But I like the way I felt afterwards, and I'm looking forward to continuing that.
I love that for you. I don't know. You like to show up anyway. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
What I would say mine is how I interact to stuff internally. So like, because I've worked through this whole emotional intelligence space, right, of being able to feel away, but consider what other people feel, consider how I express something to things to people. And not that I'm perfect at it, but I'm way better than I used to be back in the
Yeah.
day. I still do sometimes struggle with how it makes me feel at the end. So, like, for instance, a situation could happen and I considered how the other person felt or communicated it in an emotional, intelligent way. But then when it's all over and we leave, I overthink it and I am beating up on myself. Or I'm just really like overthinking the situation. Well, what if we would have done it this way? Or what if this was said? Or what if I should have said this or whatever? And it's almost like I drag it out in my mind for way too long.
Mhm.
like way too long, instead of just being like, all right, it was a situation. That was a situation and it's over with now. So move past it, right? Like stop allowing yourself to beat up on yourself. Even situations to where like things are not in my control, but I'm in my mind figuring out how I can control the situation to make it work out the way that it needs to work out, whether it's for me, whether it's for other people. So definitely being in a space where I am not so hard on myself internally and how I show up to me, right? Like, because it's stressful. Like,
Yeah.
it is so stressful. Like, I've even had to remind myself, like, stop thinking about that. Like, what?
Yeah.
So I am an overthinker. They always say don't give someone who thinks something to think about. And especially being single, you know, you have a lot of time, right? Which I mean, I work a lot, but that's my distraction. But also it's not a healthy distraction all the time. So, you know, when you're trying to work on self-care and taking care of yourself, when the time that you have to just sit and reflect, you're overthinking shit. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
So that is my strategically working on how I overanalyze situations after the situation is over.
Yeah.
All right. So that shift from reaching to choosing is such a powerful part of living soft with intention. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about identity, leadership, and how softness actually sharpens authority. See you in a moment.
Congratulations, you're a home-based business owner. Freedom, flexibility, and your living room is HQ. It's the dream, right? But just because you work from home doesn't mean the world should know it. Your home address doesn't belong on business registrations, public records, or client invoices. At Rich Innovations, we protect your business and your privacy with our virtual mailbox services. Get a real business address, secure mail handling and digital access without ever leaving home. Separate your personal life from your business. Stay compliant, look professional, and protect your home and your brand. Your address matters. Sign up for your virtual mailbox today.
All right, welcome back to Sessions with Coach April. So before the break, we talked about boundaries and energy. Now let's get into the identity shift that happens when softness becomes a leadership strategy.
All right. So, what version of yourself are you officially retiring in 2026? The one that no longer fits the life that you're building right now?
The one that procrastinates, and that's a hard one to let go of. Procrastinating about let go of the procrastinator. But that's the hardest one for me to let go of because there's a part of me that enjoys that rush of being like, okay, I didn't do it on time, but let me hurry up and knock it out. I feel like I'm super creative in that space. But I forget who it was that told me, they were like, you're not creative. That's just your body trying to catch up and do what it should have done already. It was a way they phrased it and made it pretty much be like, no, you're not being creative. That's just like your endorphins are catching up and you should have just did it already. So the person that's scared to move, because honestly, I don't procrastinate because I can't do it at that moment. A lot of things I don't do is just because I'm scared to jump into it. So I'm stalling because I'm afraid. And I'm tired of living afraid of doing things. And a lot of people wouldn't even believe that about me because I'm the one who like moved away and moved to a different state, not once but twice, to Charlotte, and then no, first to Atlanta, and then to Charlotte, and down to Florida, and everybody else is still back at home in Ohio. So they all look at me like, you're the risk taker. Listen, a lot of the stuff I just be jumping scared. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea where I'm going. Like I just jump. But there are so many other things in my life that I'm afraid to jump. And I want to be that fearless in every area of my life because I know those areas where I'm the most afraid to act is the area that's holding me back from getting to where I want to be. And I will not take that. I won't bring it into the new year.
Absolutely.
What about you?
I would say for me, it's the side that has to have so much control all the time. And it's crazy because it almost feels like you have to have so much control that it's kind of out of control, right? Like to oxymoron. I definitely want to, and I guess that's the part of like understanding the soft space, right? Because the driver side, the masculine energy side, is a side that says, nope, I got this. Nope, I'm doing this. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sometimes just sitting back and letting somebody else control it, it's okay. Like, it's okay. It doesn't. And one thing, and I probably said this before in a show, but one thing when my mom told me before is, just because it's not done like you doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Like, as long as the finishing result is how it's supposed to be, that's all that matters. So I definitely want to be in a space where, because I won't tell you how much it sucks sometimes, especially, I know you know this, being a single mom, when it's like anything we do, it means you have to be the leader. If we go on vacation, if you take the kids, you have to be the one to control the situation. You have to be the planner. You have to be the one to make sure we have a ride, make sure we have plane tickets, make sure everybody's bags are packed, make sure, you have to be the producer of fun, but you also got to be the security to make sure everybody's okay. I'm just in a space now where I want to be able to take a vacation and be able to just sit back and roll and have fun while somebody else makes decisions. And, I just want to be in a space where everything does not have to be controlled by me. And I realize that, as much as I say that, the reason it is controlled by me in most cases is because of me. It's not because of sometimes it's underlying issues, right? It's like, if I let this person control, maybe it's gonna suck, or they're not prepped for it. But sometimes it is me, because how do people learn how to take control if I won't relinquish it, right? So definitely in a space where I'm learning, like, hey, as the soft space, that's why I say even in a relationship, which you gave me this phrase, if you can't plan a date, you can't plan our lives. So don't come in here ask me what I want to do. You better plan something to do. Like, and you better still look, I gotta come to your city first. Hell yeah. Like, so yeah, I'm definitely in a space where, like, allowing myself to relax and enjoy instead of always having to be in control is where I'm at. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does leadership look like when it's calm, feminine, and still firm? And how do you stay soft without becoming passive or letting people get too comfortable with you, which is what I talked about earlier?
So I don't think I'll ever be passive. I feel like when I was younger, I've already lived in that space, so I know what it feels like. Be the person who was talked over, walked over, disregarded. So I kind of became the strong masculine energy person. First of all, because I watched my mom be very strong, but also when I finally found my voice, it was like, hey, you're going to hear me. So I know what it feels like to be passive, and I'll never get back to that space. But I can assert a boundary and then that be the boundary. But it can come from a soft space of knowing how to take care, that I need to take care of me, but then also show that same level of respect of communicating to the other person that this is the boundary and this is where we're not going to go. And then step away from the situation. I don't have to explain. I don't have to go further into it. You either respect it or you don't. I don't have to answer why. I don't have to do any of that. So that's the space. I feel like you get into more of the hard space when you feel like you got to over explain. You got to make people understand. You don't have to understand. At this point, it is what it is. And that's how I feel. And just live in that space. And then also for people who need to tell me something, accept that that's what it is, right? Don't try to overanalyze it. Don't try to force it anyway. Just that's what it is. So yeah. What about you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to answer this question. And the reason why I say that is because, again, a lot of the feedback that I get from people is that my voice sounds authoritative and mean sometimes, right? So sometimes it's not what I say, it's the tone that I say it in. So like everything you just said, I completely agree with. And I can do that. Like I'm at a point in my life where it's like, listen, make a decision. Are we doing this or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just, don't pussyfoot around. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me what it is so we can move one way or another. We ain't got to over explain. Let's just get to it. I'm very much at that space in my life. So it can be soft, but my delivery doesn't always come out soft. So
it's your face too. It's your face. You have the best image face. I love you, but you do.
I know I do, and I'm trying to change it, but I don't know how. So like, even when I talk to people, like one of my biggest things is I always say, like, you can say whatever you feel like you got to say to me. Just watch how you say it. So you'll know I'm to a point where it's about to go left if you hear me say, who the fuck you think you're talking to? I don't know how to be soft with that except for to go, who the fuck you think you're talking to? Like, I can lower my octave, But you know what I'm saying? The way I talk is loud, it's boisterous, and it's very authoritative. But that's because you're not gonna walk all over me. You're not gonna make me feel small. You're not gonna like sun me either. You're gonna know I got something to say. So I don't know how to do that thing where like I make my voice soft and like passive and listen, what's going on? Like I don't know how to do that like soft voice person. I just can't do it. So
I guess just to piggyback on that, or to a response to that before I go into my last question, when you say you're not going to make me feel like that, but nobody should ever be able to, right? Like the only person who should be able to make you feel a way is you yourself, because you decide how you feel about something. So I guess if like that piece that feels like, okay, and that's part of where my soft era says, or I say like, hey, it is where it is. Even if someone has something to say to me that maybe not be the nicest thing, right? I'm going to take it as it is, and then I'll move on. But it's almost like that feeling of you're not going to say that to me or make me feel a way. They can only do what you allow them to do. And when you're in that space of, hey, like that is disturbing my peace, so now I'm gone. Like I'm not sitting around for this. I'm not allowing that in my bubble of space. It makes it easier than to feel the need to challenge somebody because how they feel about you, because who cares what they feel about you? It's about how you feel, right? And if you sit in that space, like who you think you're talking to, and allow them the privilege of answering, they don't even have that privilege. Like, all right, disrespectful, you be where you're at, I'm going over here, right?
I'm working on that.
Now
working on it.
You may have to lay some hands, but all right. So my last question, what's something you used to stress over that now you're like, yeah, no, not doing that anymore?
Having friends. And honestly, I didn't really stress. Oh, you said what?
Niggas.
That too. Definitely that too. Because especially now at 40, it's like they're gonna come in abundance. Like it's always gonna be niggas around. Like I'm not even stressing about that no more. They everywhere. And easy to get too. And easy to trick too. But no, I've never really cared about having friends. I've always kept my circle small anyway. And I don't hand out the friend title easily. So that's not something I cared about. It's keeping people that I once called friends who showed me they weren't friends.
Yeah.
And that applies to friends and family. I don't care about keeping those titles, those connections anymore. Honestly, at this point in my life, the less people that are connected to me, the better. Like I don't care about the quantity of people who I can say are connected to me or the quantity of people who can say they know me. I want a quality amount of people who can say they know me, who can be close to me, that I feel like, okay, once I get to a point, you're taken care of. I don't really care about the quantity anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
Mine's are not mine's. It's taking on burdens that are not mine. I'm leaving that. I mean, I said that somewhat through 2025 too. I'm leaving it just because, and not that I'm not willing to help, because if I got it, I'll help. But I tend to, but you know me, I tend to want to take on the whole burden. To the point that I've had people in pain, and the pain they're having, I'm having because I've taken it on so much. I remember even when friend lost his leg, I felt like my foot was messed up. Like like for at least a day or two, I felt like I was having sharp pains.
You feel like Lieutenant Dan?
Girl, yes. But yeah, definitely not taking on people's burdens unless God says, hey, like I need to consult with my Savior first, and if he says, then okay, but otherwise, no.
Yeah. So be honest, what's one thing that instantly disrupts your soft girl energy? And what's the fastest way someone can knock you out of your soft era?
The lack of common sense. You know what though? But I feel like that whole common sense is not common. Maybe what I have is not common sense. Maybe it's me. I'm starting to think because like stupidity that, and and I don't understand why people think the way they think sometimes, or why they didn't think it through before allowing it into the universe, right? The agreements, we have things we agree on. Don't agree to stupid stuff. So That's probably the biggest thing. I don't want to harp on it too much. The biggest thing is, yeah, just, and I can walk away, but like some people are adamant with their stupidity. Like just, disturb my peace with stupidity. That'll knock me out my soft era. Go ahead.
I hate that it's even a thing, but people who are close to me that I have to deal with, and I'm not gonna say specifically who they are because they tend to be a little sensitive. But there are people that are still in my immediate circle that I have to deal with for a certain amount of years. I am sitting there to deal with, and those people know how to push my buttons, and I'm working on kind of doing what you've been doing, like thinking before I react, because there's certain buttons with me that you can push. And one of those buttons is to accuse me of doing things that I know I haven't done that will immediately, like if you lie on me or lie to me, that will immediately push me out of my soft era, especially when I know you're lying. Yeah. Like when I see me, see you lying, like it immediately takes me out of my soft era because it's like, really?
Right.
And I just, I don't know why it gets up under my skin so much, but it does. And I hate that. But outside of that, I'm like you, I'm easily triggered by stupidity. And a lot of times, we tend to see other people's stupidity front and center, but can't see our own. So I won't say that I'm not prone to being stupid at times, but yeah, just it's a lot of things that take me out of my, and I'm trying to peel that list back. Like you said, I can only control what I react to, what people do. So I'm trying to control my reactions and not give people the power to take me emotionally out of my element.
Right.
But there are specific things that will immediately just push me out of it, and I'm trying to peel that back some. So yeah.
So what we're going to do is, because we're already kind of over our time, is we're going to go to our final lines, where we give you just a little final line of this topic. So I want to say softness isn't the absence of strength. It's strength that no longer needs to prove itself.
That's a good one. And mine is, you don't have to harden to lead. You just have to be rooted.
Absolutely. So we will see you next time on Sessions with Coach April, where real conversations meet real solutions. See you later.
Yeah.